Happy Monday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy to be here on a Monday. Feels like fall today. Yes, it was a beautiful morning here in Middle Tennessee. I hear it's been a good morning in just about all of Tennessee. Brennan is sneezing.
Sorry.
There we go. But it is a good morning. It's hey, for those of you who are fans of the NFL, football is back. The Jets are up to their own jetsing ways, leaving 2 points on the field, and then, of course, losing by 2. Not to mention their overpaid, overrated diva of a wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, who got a massive extension in the offseason, only to drop the pass when the game was on the line after talking smack to the guy who forced him to drop the pass. I've had enough of him. Jets fans are going to be like, really? You're being real hard on him. I say, Yeah, I know. He caught a touchdown pass yesterday. I know. And, but game on the line, drop the ball. I'm sorry. If you're a wide receiver, you are paid to receive.
That's not being harsh on someone, just saying what they did.
Just do your job.
Yeah,
just do your job. Defense obviously could have been better too. Xavier Gibson couldn't have fumbled. Whatever. It's not a sports show. The Jets are back to being the Jets. But they scored a lot of points. You have a lot to look forward to. No, because we got the same result. Anyway, sports dominated the weekend, though, folks. Sports dominated the weekend. What happened this weekend that caught everybody's attention in the sports arena? Because this bled into the society arena. And does anybody know what happened this weekend? Everybody knows. There it is. Speak's got it. The Karen strikes again. Karens, you know what we need to do? No, it wasn't. Well, Trump was at the Open. Yeah, the Trump at the. But it was the Karens, the Philly Karen. How quickly we forget about the Philly Karen. That's my baseball. Snatched it out of the arms of a child. Well, snatched it out of the arms of a father who willingly gave it up. But we will get to that because I made a funny video. I wasn't planning on making this video Saturday. But then Speak decided to say, there's got to be a Trump rhyme you can do, and sent me a sample of some ideas. And so I was like, there's something to work with here. And I do what I normally do. I took a shower, right? And usually the best ideas come when I'm in the bathroom. And the whole thing came together, and we recorded it, and it went all over the place. Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of views all over the place, but it wouldn't happen. But Speak was like, there's got to be something. And sent me a few lines, and I was like, you know what? I think I could work with that. I think I could work with this idea. Let's rhyme this lady into shame and into misery. So we did that. We've got that. Obviously, the crux of the show, the main crux of the show, is going to be about the fake news media and the fact that they are not our friends, and the fact that we do not hate them enough, and the fact that they, this is where they're at this morning. Okay, they're not talking about the. They're not talking about that horrific murder in North Carolina, right? Because it's a Ukrainian refugee killed by, and I don't like playing the race card, but you know what? If they're going to do it, I'm going to do it. A career criminal black homeless thug. A career criminal black homeless thug took the life of a white Ukrainian refugee. So these people stand with Ukraine. We got to bring the refugees in. The refugees come in. One of the refugees gets stabbed in the neck on a train in North Carolina. Mainstream media, they don't care about that. Now, if a fentanyl addict who held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach died because of fentanyl, they would be throwing, there would be riots everywhere, right? There's no riots for this Ukrainian woman, Irina Zarutska, right? How about the story of the illegal alien that was murdered in Maryland? Did you hear about that? No, I bet you didn't. How about the story about another brutal murder like this in Alabama? You hear about that? No, of course not. And what does the mainstream media do, right? What does the mainstream media do when we point it out? They go, wow, crap, sugar honey iced tea. We should have covered this, right? We should have covered this. Shame on MAGA for noticing. We're doing your job for you. So now they don't care about the murder. They care that we care about the murder. And they're turning it into a Republicans pounce, Republicans seize, Republicans blah, 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 blah story. It's gross. It's just gross. So we're going to get to all three of those stories that you're not going to hear about in the mainstream media. You know what else you're not hearing about in the mainstream media?
What?
The Minneapolis trans shooter. Why? Because they go, they have a checklist, and they go, does the shooter check any of these boxes? Is the shooter white? Okay, in Minneapolis, yes. Is the shooter straight? No. Is the shooter right wing? No. Is the shooter trans? Yes. Is the shooter mentally ill? Yes. Does the shooter have the gun legally? Yes. All right, we can't do this, guys. Run a different story. That's what they do. That's what they do. And as soon as the shooter in these cases is non-white, that's the end. Is the shooter white? No. All right, scrap it. That's the way it goes. All right, we're going to get to all that and more. We're going to start off with a little bit of a light note, though. We do have the Philly Karen. We're also going to make we're going to make big fun out of Chris Christie today. Because did you know that he's lecturing us on health? Yes. The guy who, as producer Jim of the Dan Bongino show says, the guy who bleeds mayonnaise. Yes, the guy who bleeds mayonnaise is lecturing us on health. He doesn't like RFK. I'm sorry.
He was in the sky last night. Me and Winky saw him.
Yeah, the Chris Christie he came up. It was a full Christie last night. My goodness. So we're going to make some fun of him as well. I've got so much. Trump yelling at Yamiche Alcindor. Speaking of fat people. Yamiche Alcindor, the land whale who calls herself a journalist. We have that. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. And then some. But before we do that, we're going to talk to you about our friends over at OFP Farms. Explore the wonderful quality of Faith Farm and Freedom products with a special limited time 15% discount on your entire purchase. Take a peek at the lineup from OFP Farms, America's go-to soap company. Famous for natural ingredients, the skin-loving perks of tallow and goat milk, and a big heart for farm-to-family skincare. Now, whether you're looking for gentle skincare or thoughtful gifts, these products bring together expert care and good values to make your daily routine that much better. Do not miss the chance to enjoy premium products that support your health and ethical choices for the entire family. OFP Farms is the small family farm with big love. Use your promo code Sean, SHAWN, for 15% off your entire purchase at OFPfarms.com. That's OFPfarms.com. Promo code SHAWN. Get stuff like this We the People soap, which literally smells like the Constitution. It smells like James Madison's hair. That's what this is. He wrote the Constitution.
A powdered wig?
This smells like a powdered wig. Right? There it is. OFPfarms.com, promo code SHAWN. Soaps, lotions, lip balms, tallow, skincare, everything you need. OFPfarms.com, as they say, the small family farm with big love. Use the promo code Sean, that's SHAWN at checkout. You get 15% off of your entire purchase. Okay? OFPfarms.com, promo code Sean, OFPfarms.com, promo code SHAWN. All right. We're gonna go to the Karen. We're going to get her out of the way right here.
Ooh.
It's good, though. It's good.
Ooh.
Throat coat. For those of you who maybe were living under a rock this weekend and did not see this going all over the place, on Friday night, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins are playing in Florida. And a dad was caught on video getting a home run ball and running back over and giving it to his son, who was celebrating his birthday. And an angry HOA Karen, probably head of the teachers union, probably president of her homeowners association. You know, this is the type of Karen who, if one blade of grass is touching your driveway, she's like, you're fined. Right? Like that's the type of woman this woman is. Ran up to the dad, scared him, and yelled at him into submission, where he gave up the baseball and gave it back to the Karen. Watch this. See the dad, he gives it to the boy. And she's like, I need to speak to the manager. And he's like, what happened here? Look at this lady just going off her silver hair. She's got the submarine porthole glasses. He gives her the baseball, says, get out of here. And she walks away. Entitled.
The way the dad...
Dad was like... You can tell he's never dealt with a Karen a day in his life.
It's silly. But, yeah. No, she was
Okay?
crazy.
Here's actual audio of what the Karen said. What a ridiculous woman. So
it wasn't just the two of them. There was a group of people going for it. So
yeah.
Technically, he took it from everyone.
Yeah.
If
you know why? Because in a game,
not just her,
home run ball. Okay, people compete for the home run ball, and first come, first serve. But apparently that was the Karen's home run ball.
And if he hadn't gotten it, there was another man that was right behind him that would have probably gotten it. So it's not like she was the one that was going to get it.
It's not like he stuck it in his back pocket. He gave it to his son. So she ultimately winds up taking it away from the kid. Well, that prompted this video, the Philly Karen poem. Okay, Donald Trump reciting a very nice message. Well, it's not very nice for the Karen, but a well-written, if I have to say so myself, message about the Philly Karen. Take a look.
There was an old lady who lived in a shoe, and if you're a kid on your birthday, she'll steal a home run ball from you. And while many may believe this behavior is silly, it's actually quite common if you're a sports fan from Philly. The nasty old Karen wanted the baseball so bad, she ran through the whole stadium and berated the dad. And the dad gave up the ball to the dismay of his boy. The Karen did what Karens do. She stole all the joy. Both teams and their fans saw her wreck all the fun. Everyone who witnessed it knew what must be done. The Marlins sent a gift bag, and a short while later, the boy and his family met Harrison Bader. The nasty old Karen was booed out of the game, and now the whole world will soon know her name. From her hair to her glasses to her life that is so barren, the moral of the story is don't be a Karen.
That's right. Don't be a Karen. And that applies, by the way, to both sides. First of all, the name of this woman is not Cheryl Richardson Wagner. Somebody doxed the wrong person, which leads me to this. Folks, no matter how bad a person is acting, even if they're breaking the law, do not put their address and phone number public, okay? She didn't lose her job. People found this woman 3 times, and it wasn't her. So, what she did at this game is not reason for her to be fired. I think the online shame, knowing your face is now being associated with Karens worldwide, by the way, is good enough punishment. She leaves her house. She's got to change her whole appearance because everyone knows what this woman looks like. But I did see people starting to dox after this whole thing happened. I was like, why? Why can't you just enjoy things responsibly? Mm-hmm. It's like, drink your beer, but don't drive. Then you get people getting behind the wheel of the car drunk. Just be upset with the Karen. Don't dox the Karen. Don't put her public information out. We are not the left. And the reason, of course, I'm so passionate about doxing is because, hello, it happened to us. It's not right. If someone broke the law and you want to identify them, you send their information to the cops. Like we did with several Tesla terrorists, right? Doxing's never okay.
No.
Ever.
No.
All right? And honestly, what she did at the baseball game was awful. She does not deserve to have hate mail sent to her house and fired in this. Don't dox.
Gina, drag her behind a truck.
That's fine. As long as we don't release her address. All right. Yeah, people were reporting that she was fired. That was not true. People were reporting the wrong person. They posted her the wrong person's phone number and address. Do not dox. Do not dox. Okay. All right, let's get to a quick word from our friends over at Patriot Mobile. It's patriotmobile.com/FARASH, patriotmobile.com/Farish, patriotmobile.com/FARASH. I realize there's many choices when it comes to who you choose for your cell phone service, and there are new ones popping up all the time, but here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that is Patriot Mobile. Not only are they leading the way in the red economy, but Patriot Mobile is also outgaining the competition when it comes to technology. Patriot Mobile is one of the only carriers with access to all three of the major U.S. networks. Folks, patriotmobile.com/FARASH. It means exceptional nationwide coverage everywhere you go, along with the ability to have multiple numbers on different networks on a single smartphone. This is what we would call a game changer. They also offer unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, internet backup, and so much more. Switching's easier than ever. Activate in minutes. From the comfort of your home, keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. It's time to make the switch today. Go to patriotmobile.com/FARASH or call 972-PATRIOT and use the promo code FARASH for a free month of service. That is patriotmobile.com/FARASH or call 972-PATRIOT, patriotmobile.com/Farish or 972-PATRIOT. Promo code FARASH for a free month of service. All right, here we go. On to the big story of the day. The mainstream media slammed, absolutely eviscerated for avoiding this brutal murder that happened in North Carolina on a train. And this is not the only one. This is not the only one that they were ignoring throughout the weekend, but this was the big one. This woman, this Ukrainian refugee, right? This Ukrainian refugee, despite the shocking nature of the crime, the incident has seen no coverage. Her name is Irina Zarutska, and I didn't want to show the picture today, but I am going to show it here in this post-millennial article. This is what it is. You see the thug behind her with the knife, getting ready to stab her in the neck, unsuspecting. Why he did that, who the hell knows? You know, the fact that this guy was a career criminal 14 times arrested, been in jail a number of times, and was left to go back out on the street. Critics are calling out major news outlets, all of them, for a lack of coverage of the fatal stabbing of a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee in North Carolina by a career criminal with a lengthy history of violent offenses. This is not somebody who, and I'm not saying shoplifting is okay, but this is not somebody who, stole a pack of gum a few times from a 7-Eleven, okay? I'm not saying that's okay. I'm not. We understand it's not okay. I know. The rooster had to tell me, Sean, that's not okay. Nobody's above the law. I get it. All right, but this is somebody who is a violent criminal. Violent. A lot of violent crimes. The victim is Irina Zarutska. She fled Ukraine due to the war and was just brutally killed late at night while riding a light rail in Charlotte, North Carolina. Surveillance footage released by transit officials, which has since gone viral, shows the suspect, a 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown Jr., sitting behind Zarutska before suddenly stabbing her in the neck multiple times and then walked away as blood dripped from the knife in his hands. He was charged with first-degree murder, has a criminal record that has gone back years, including violent crimes and mental health issues known to law enforcement. Many have questioned why he was free in the first place. What the hell's he doing in the first place? What is he doing now? Now, here's the problem. The mainstream media made they made a production. Think about it. Of Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, George Floyd, Eric Garner, Breonna Taylor. Why do we know all those people's names? Because the mainstream media made a full-blown production out of all of those people who died. George Floyd, the kingpin of all of this, right? In the summer of 2020. Okay, you want to say the video that came out in the summer of 2020 looked like, Derek Chauvin shouldn't have been doing the things that he was doing? You could, fine. We know a little bit more now about the case, but you want to say in 2020 it looked bad optics-wise, first glance, first smell of what was going on, smelled awful? Fine, no problem. I don't have a problem with that. You're the media. You're reporting the news. You're giving us the story. Fine. Okay? That's whatever. The fact that nobody talked about this story, it is painfully obvious why nobody talked about this story. Victim was white, assailant was black. I'm sorry, I don't want to play the race card. You know me. I try every day, I try my hardest not to go down this road because I don't like it. I don't think it leads anywhere good. But that is exactly what's going on here. This is, picture perfect for the left. Think about it. A Ukrainian refugee. They've all got their Ukrainian, flags in the bio. We stand with Ukraine. It doesn't look like you stand with Ukrainians now. Is anybody outraged over what happened? You even have the woke Charlotte mayor, which, by the way, this is the new talking point. We can't arrest our way out of issues like this. That is the freaking point of arresting people. That's the point. You arrest criminals so that they can't commit more crimes. And the example that you are making out of those criminals who you arrest deters other criminals from committing similar crimes. But when you have a guy like DeCarlos, whatever it is, what was his name? DeCarlos Brown Jr.? Is that what it is? DeCarlos Brown Jr., who has been in and out of jail a handful of times, not for, stealing a pack of gum or a bag of chips from a convenience store, violent crimes, mental health problems, law enforcement knew his deal. What the hell is this guy doing on the street? And it's only going to be more. You're only going to see more of this. I'll tell you what. The border was the number one issue going into 2024. Yes? That was the big one? I would say the border was the number one issue going into 2024. Crime is the number one issue going into 2026. Without a doubt. It is such a losing issue. That could have been anybody on that train. That could have been anybody on that train. Anybody who rides mass transit, public transportation, that can happen to you if you're doing that in a blue city. And Charlotte is a blue city. That could be anybody. Anybody on a bus, anybody on a train, anybody in an Uber, that could be anybody. I'm not trying to scare you from living your life, but I'm just being real with you right now, okay? That could have been anyone. Nobody wants to live like this. And we don't have to live like this. We don't. It's not just that we're taking a soft on crime approach now. The fact that you have the mainstream media ignoring this, and you have left-wing activist authoritarians and officials and politicians in these cities saying we can't arrest ourselves out of these issues, which is the new talking point. They're all saying this now. They're all saying this, right? The district attorney of Washington, D.C. said it. The mayor of Chicago said it. Now the mayor of Charlotte said it. And I'm sure there are others that have said it that we just don't know about. You can't arrest yourselves out of these problems. That is the point of making an arrest. The point of making the arrest is taking the criminal off the street, bringing that criminal into custody, and making sure that criminal cannot commit future crimes. Also, while providing an example of if we catch you doing what this criminal did, we will do the same thing to you. Instead, the example is, hey, if you commit these crimes, yeah, we'll take you in, we'll put you in jail for a little bit, but you'll eventually get out. So there's less of a deterrent for committing the crime. This should have been something that was all over the place, but the mainstream media went through their narrative criteria, right? Their little rubric, right? Where it's, okay, let's see the checklist. Is the assailant or the criminal black? Yes. All right, we got a 75% chance we're not covering this story now. Is the victim white? Yes. Now it's an 85% chance we're not covering this story. Was it in a Democrat city? Yes. Now it's a 90% chance we're not covering it. Was it with a gun? No. All right, we're done. Scrap it. We're not covering this story. Black criminal, white victim, blue city, no gun. They're never going to talk about it. The only reason people are talking about it now is because we were talking about it over the weekend. And the nerve of an outlet like Axios to put up the following. Look at this. The gruesome video of the fatal knife attack on Irina Zarutska on a light rail car in Charlotte is drawing attention from MAGA influencers seeking to elevate the issue of violent urban crime and accuse mainstream media of undercovering shocking cases. We're not accusing you of undercovering it. You undercovered it. You didn't even talk about it. And now the only reason you're talking about it is to take a shot at people like us who are talking about it. You don't care about the crime. You care that we care about the crime. You do not hate these people enough. You do not hate these people enough. I don't like the word hate, but you don't hate them enough. You don't. So that you mean to tell me whoever decided in Axios, this is the route you were going to take. Hey, let's cover the story, but let's take a shot at the MAGA people who covered it first and put the pressure on us to cover it because it's exposing our hypocrisy. The way they're covering it is to say, hey, these people are making a really big deal out of it because it is a big deal. That could have been anybody. That could have been anyone. It's not just, I'm not covering it because she's a Ukrainian refugee. I'm not covering it out of a lens of race, although it is playing a role. And the role that the race played, I believe, in the crime, because I don't know the other details. I don't know. Okay? I don't know that this guy stabbed the woman because she was white. He could have. I don't know. I'm telling you, the reason the media hasn't covered it is because of that dynamic. Period. End of story. I have no idea what was in the mind of this insane person. I don't know if he said, hey, if he left the house going, I'm going to kill a white person today. I don't know that. He may have. He may not have. I don't know. That's why I'm not going to speculate on that. That, to me, doesn't matter right now because we have no evidence one way or the other what his motivations were. It could have been anybody sitting in that seat in front of him, and he may have stabbed. We don't know. We don't know. That's my point. I'm not taking a position one way or the other. I'm saying we have no idea. What I'm telling you, and the racial lens that I'm covering this from, is the reason the mainstream media has not said a freaking word until this garbage from Axios here. The reason the mainstream media has not said a word is because of what I just said. Black assailant, white victim, blue city, no gun. Does not check any boxes off in terms of preserving their precious little narrative. And again, anyone now covering this crime does not care about the crime. They care that we care about the crime. They go, wow, look, independent media is smoking us again here. Let's take a shot at them going, oh, they're making a mountain out of this molehill. That ain't a molehill. That could have been anyone. And it's more than just what happened in North Carolina. You do not hate these people enough. You don't. On the other side of the break, as we're going to take a quick one here, I got a story out of Maryland. I got a story out of Alabama. It's not just this North Carolina one. Everyone's focused on the North Carolina one. Good, by the way. Fine. I have no problem with that. And there's more of this that's going on too. And this highlights the fact that the mainstream media is just a steaming pile of dog crap these days that does not give a damn about anybody. All right, let's get to a word from our friends over at My Patriot Supply. It's mypatriotsupply.com, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Folks, September is National Preparedness Month. Did you know about that? I've been telling you that for the last couple of days. It is the perfect time to ask yourself, what is going on here? There we go. It's the perfect time to ask yourself, how much food do you have on hand for emergencies? How would you get clean water if the tap water went dry tomorrow? What would you do if a storm knocked out power for an entire week? If you're anything like me, there's some room for improvement on all of that. Now, luckily, our friends over at My Patriot Supply are making disaster preparedness easier and more affordable than ever by giving you over $1,500 worth of emergency food and preparedness absolutely free. They just launched their Preparedness Month Mega Kit, and it includes a full year of emergency food, a water filtration system that can purify almost any water source, and a solar backup generator, and also A whole lot more. Here is the best part. If you go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned, you can get 90 preparedness essentials totaling over $1,500 absolutely free. Just go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned for full details. That is mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. It is National Preparedness Month. It's a great time to take stock of your family's level of preparedness. Check it out. Over 90 items totaling over $1,500 are yours for free at mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned for full details. Check it out. Here's Donald Trump, actually. He is treating the mainstream media, members of the mainstream media, the way they should be treated. Yamiche Alcindor, one of the gas giants, was asking a question at the White House, and Trump just laid right into her. Look at this.
That's fake news.
Well, why would the Department of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
Mr. President, how is your
Are you ready? Are you ready?
So there he is. They're telling her, be quiet. You don't listen. Be quiet. I love it. I love it. That's the way these people are supposed to be treated, folks. That's the way we're supposed to treat them. Okay? I can't stand these people. I cannot stand these people. All right. Quick word from our friends over at Goldcrest Metals. It's goldcrestmetals.com/LFA. A good message on behalf of Goldcrest Metals from the great Jeremy Harrell.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions. And there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees. No pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen and it'll take you right there. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Again, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA.
That's GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. More on this story, or the lack of coverage from mainstream media. Did you hear about this brutal case in Maryland? This, of course, just another Maryland man, I guess. Just another Maryland man, I guess, right? Why would the mainstream media not cover this one? Well, let's go down again. Let's go down the check boxes regarding what they require to cover a story. Okay, this story out of Maryland is an illegal alien story. Okay, so when the when the attacker is an illegal alien, they can't cover it, right? They can't cover it because there's no way the mainstream media is ever going to admit that an illegal alien did something wrong. We got a name. 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez, an illegal alien from Guatemala, brutally murdered a Maryland teen and threw her body off of a bridge last month. How freaking nice. Here's local news. Again, local. Could you imagine? Now, what would you say mainstream media would do? Let's put yourself in the shoes of Axios, MSNBC, the New York Times, CNN, the Washington Post, ABC, CBS, right? Let's say that a white person, okay, found a black teenager, murdered the teenager, and threw the body off of a bridge. Do you think that maybe the mainstream media might cover that story? They'd go down and it's a modern day lynching. Right? That's what they would say. And you know what? Rightfully so. It's a heinous crime. The fact is, and what we're highlighting here, is that they have no standards. Here's local news covering this story out of Maryland, but nothing, not a peep from the national media.
Interstate 97 in the Annapolis area. According to charging documents WJZ Investigates obtained, the suspect, 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez, threw her body off a highway bridge into the South River. She had skull and facial fractures. Her family identified her through tattoos.
At this time, there are no additional suspects. However, this investigation is ongoing.
Thompson, who lived with her dad, disappeared after going out to get gas. She sent him this text.
I should be back soon. I love you too. Good night.
The 19-year-old is seen on surveillance video leaving her SUV behind in Hyattsville. According to charging documents, she approached the suspect's GMC Yukon and after approximately a minute of conversing, walks over to the passenger side of the vehicle and gets into the passenger front seat. Police say they drove to his house in Bowie and believe he killed her in his bedroom. A roommate reports hearing the defendant having sex and then a grunting noise which made it believe that someone wasn't enjoying the sex. After executing a search warrant, police found what they believed to be the victim's blood and missing fingernail, along with hair and other evidence in the bedroom and in the trash, along with multiple pairs of women's underwear and lingerie. Hernandez Mendez agreed to an interview, telling detectives he went to a nightclub to meet his ex-girlfriend, but never did. When detectives questioned further, the defendant denied any involvement. Prince George's officials say Hernandez Mendez was in the United States illegally. U.S. Park Police arrested him for a DUI 5 months ago, but let him go.
There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. They got him for DUI, but let him back out. Every single mother effing time. Every time these people were in custody. Every time. Prince George's, by the way. Prince George's County. Ring a bell? Anybody ring a bell? Anybody remember where we heard about Prince George's County for a while? Just think back. Maryland. This shouldn't be difficult. Prince George's County. Who did Prince George's County have in custody not too long ago? 2019. Think. Prince George's County. Who was it? Let's see if the chat's got it, right? Let's see. Prince George's County, Maryland. Anybody? Anybody have that? That Maryland man, yes, AV 1965. Maryland man, AV's got it. Kilmar Abrigo Garcia. Mo has got it. Kilmar Abrigo Garcia. There it is. Kilmar Abrigo Garcia. What's going on in Maryland? It seems to be some pretty bad stuff, but here it is again. They got him for a DUI, driving under the influence. Illegal alien! Driving under the influence. Okay, so now he murdered somebody. We need to start holding the people accountable who let these people go. I think that might be the next thing. That might be the next thing that's got to happen. I'm not too sure how to do that. All right, here's another one. Dr. Julie Schnuel killed yesterday while walking her dog in Auburn, Alabama by a person by the name of Rashad Dabney. Arrested and charged. Rashad Dabney. Again, why don't we hear about Dr. Julie Schnuel? Huh? New York Post. 13 minutes ago, put this story up. It broke yesterday. I saw it on X with End Wokeness. Pint-sized Auburn veterinary professor hacked to death. Hacked to death by fiend while walking her dog in the park. A beloved ex-veterinary professor was hacked to death while walking her dog in an Alabama park. The same place where she took her pet to exercise almost every day. The killer stole her truck and fled, but was caught by cops a short distance away the next day. The body of Dr. Julie Gard Schnuel, 59 years old, a former professor of large animal medicine at Auburn University's College of Veterinary Medicine, was discovered in a wooded area of Kiesel Park in Auburn on Saturday afternoon. She had driven to the park with her dog in her red F-150. The pup stuck by his owner's body and was found unharmed. Harold Rashad Dabney III, 28 years old, from Montgomery, was arrested and charged with capital murder. Want to take a guess as to why you're not going to hear about this story? Because there's Mr. Dabney. Hacked to death. Let's go down that checklist one more time, shall we? The assailant was black. The victim was white. It was in a college town. I'm not sure if Auburn is a blue city or not. It's in a red state, so that may be a maybe. I'm not sure. There was no gun. Every time. I don't know much about this guy's record yet. That's not out. And I'm not very good at looking that type of stuff up. State representatives were devastated over this. The community was devastated over this. Okay. You know how you stop it? You know how you stop it? You take people like Mr. Dabney and you fry them in front of the public, okay? That's what you do. You strap them. You do what, they ever said that scene from Taken? Liam Neeson puts the guy in the chair. He shoves metal rods in this guy's knee and then attaches jumper cables to a circuit in the room that he's at to the thing and turns the light switch on and fries him to death. There is no reason to be humane with someone like this. I'm sorry. I don't care who takes offense to that. This person needs to be publicly killed, and it needs to be done in brutal fashion because there needs to be some sort of deterrent. You guys hear about the Alabama story? No. I didn't even have a headline to snip to put in the show because it wasn't out yesterday. It was just a post made by End Wokeness on X. I didn't even have a headline to snip and put in. The Post just put the story out a few minutes ago. Which is, pretty quick because it came out last night. The story came out last night. Harold Rashad Dabney III. Let's see. There's actually a little bit of reporting. I'm not sure how reliable this is, but there's actually a little bit of reporting on him. Let's see if we can. If there's going to be ads and stuff all over the screen. Who is he? Dabney's from Montgomery. The professor taught at Alabama. Let's see. Confirmed him to be the suspect responsible. Let's see if there's anything else. There's so many ads on this. I get it. These websites got to make money, but I can't read the article. Moved to Lee County Jail, held without bond. I'm still going to see if he has a past. And I'm not seeing it in this article either. So we'll wait for more information to come out about him. But another one, mainstream media is not going to cover that. Another one. All right, I want to get to this ridiculous story. First of all, remember last week, RFK was getting attacked by senators. Bernie Sanders, no. What is everybody corrupt except for you, Mr. Kennedy? No. I did not take any money from Big Pharma. You did. And RFK was like, are you saying the vaccine companies were bankrolling my political campaign? Of course not, okay? But yeah, that showdown. You know what? Do I still have the showdown? I think I left it in there. I do. Let's play that for a minute.
Every single Republican,
one of you,
here, Mr. Chairman, has received PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry.
No.
Are they all corrupt as well?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food
Everybody
industry.
but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you will agree with me on that. Okay, you were running for president. You got a billionaire behind it. You received $300,000 from people, not from the industry, people in it, as I did, from individuals. You corrupt. President Trump got
I will end all billionaires who take away all of your health cares. So Trump backed up RFK. Someone asked him about him right after he smacked down Yamiche Alcindor outside the White House. Donald Trump backed up RFK, which is nice to hear, because if there's anybody in this administration that is continuing to take all the slings and the arrows, it is RFK Jr. right now. Nobody on either side of the aisle, part of the Uniparty, likes RFK Jr., but Trump's got his back. Take a look.
All the establishment attacks on RFK Jr.?
Well, he's a different kind of a guy. He's got a lot of good ideas, but he's got a lot of ideas. You know, normally they don't have any ideas, and that's why we have problems with autism and so many other things, because we're coming up with the answers for autism. You watch. We're coming up with the answers for other things that normal people, regular people, easy to get along with people wouldn't be able to do. He's got a lot of ideas, and so do I, and we're going to clean it up.
There it is. Donald Trump has the back of RFK Jr., but that didn't stop, and this is great. Talk about a lack of self-awareness, right? Talk about a lack of self-awareness. All right, it's like when AOC and Bernie Sanders flew around the country on a private jet that cost $25,000 an hour, right? To fight the oligarchy and the billionaires, right? Nothing says fighting the oligarchy like flying on a private jet that's $25,000 an hour. All the emissions, right? AOC and climate change and, right, you know? But here's Chris Christie, a man who, by the way, looks like this. For those of you, this is recent. Look at that. Look at that guy. You could see people gravitating towards him, not because they like him, but because he's got his own gravity field. Chris Christie, right? This is him eating a corn dog. Look at that picture. I don't know how old that picture is, but he has probably gone up about 20 belt sizes since then. Chris Christie has the nerve. I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm actually going to say this.
Say it.
No, it's not even. I just can't believe I can't believe this guy is so, like, unaware. Here is Chris Christie, right? I mean, this guy's so just. Gosh, look at the size of his brain. Okay. Here is Chris Christie, whose blood type is butter, right? Lecturing America about health and saying that RFK Jr. is not to be trusted, right? Butter negative blood type Chris Christie is probably butter positive, to be honest. Butter positive blood type Chris Christie lecturing us about health. Watch this.
You looked at that appearance before Congress, and it just confirms what all of us around this table have known for decades. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a foolish man, full of foolish and vapid ideas. And that was on display again this week in front of Congress. And I really don't want to hear about Bill Cassidy, because he is a co-conspirator with the President of the United States for putting this wholly unqualified man in charge of 25% of all government spending. Without Cassidy's vote, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would not be it. And maybe he's feeling some guilt from what he did. But I'll tell you this, the president did this. He knows, the president's smart enough to know RFK Jr. doesn't belong in that job. But after he won, he wanted to show everybody, I can do whatever I want to do because this Senate will be compliant no matter what I do. And I'll put the greatest vaccine and public health denier of the last 20 years in charge of public health in America. It's a human middle finger, George, to everybody who opposed him.
A public health denier. Chris Christie is literally the size of one of the gas giants in our solar system. As I said, his blood type is butter positive, right? If there's anybody in this country that is an embodiment of public health denial, it is the fat, oversized load slob, former governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie. He makes J.B. Pritzker look like the poster child of fitness in this country. Jiggly belly. And when I was on stage, someone threw a tomato. And it started going around and around. It got caught in orbit. You know, you look at it. Starlink is actually launching satellites around Chris Christie to give him access to the internet. Could you believe that? Public health denier. And this guy, they have to shoot him from like 10 feet away because he takes up the whole frame. You see Donna Brazil? She was like holding on for dear life. I'm getting pulled in. Help! Throw me a lifeline. You know, the real Bridgegate that Chris Christie was involved in was London Bridge. He's the one who brought it down. All right, here you go. Mo. I know we have it. 700. Thank you, everybody. We love Mo. Quick word from our friends over at SilentSLNT.com. It's SLNT, silent, SLNT.com /Sean, SHAWN, silent, SLNT.com /Sean. Folks, you know your phone is a tracking device, right? Tracks everywhere you go. It's unfortunate. Government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint. And they don't ask. They just go on and they take it. They're also running this beautiful sweepstakes right here. You can get a privacy starter kit right there from Silent as well. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. This is the same technology that is trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, that stuff's available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and protect your digital footprint. Just drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent, completely invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to sleeves to crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control over your privacy. Just go to slnt.com /Sean, SHAWN, to get 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. That is silent, slnt.com /Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. And most importantly, silence the chaos at silent, slnt.com /SHAWN. 15% off, free shipping on qualifying orders. Cool story, good story here. Trump administration has found 22,638. It's not new, but it is a story that, you know, it's worth talking about. The Trump administration found approximately 22,638 unaccompanied migrant children lost by Joe Biden. Unfortunately, 27 of them are dead. Many of the undocumented migrant children who crossed the border and were lost, quote unquote, under the Biden administration have been found in horrible conditions, dead or exploited as labor or sex slaves. This comes after it was revealed that there were 65,000 reports concerning allegations about migrant child sponsors left in a backlog by the Biden administration. Quote, "It is important that we find these cases where children are being used for labor and sexually trafficked." John Fabricatore, an HHS Office of Refugee Resettlement senior advisor, told Fox News in March a team was assembled to locate tens of thousands of children that were allowed into the United States under the Biden administration and then released to sponsors, many of them being unvetted and not related to children. Quote, "We found children who have been raped," he said. "We're talking about debt bondage, where children are being made to work off debt, trafficking debt. We're talking about children that were brought into situations and then treated like sex slaves, where children are in horrific environments, just environments that they should not be in, where the sponsor is a heroin dealer and that child winds up dying of a heroin overdose." Okay, well, 27 of those kids are dead. 22,000 have been found. There's still so many that have not been found, but at least those 22,000 have been found, and hopefully they can get their lives together. Final story of the day, and this better be the real final warning. Donald Trump tells Hamas, "This is my last warning." The last warning should have happened years ago, but Trump wasn't president. It's been, 8 months since Donald Trump took over and was sworn in, and Hamas still has not released the hostages. I'm just going to say this, okay? I think it's painfully obvious that these terrorists can't be trusted, and I support Israel going door to door in Gaza or whatever's left of Gaza and taking anybody who's wearing a green headband and killing them because they don't deserve it anymore. How many times is Hamas going to say, no, please, we'll release the hostages, please, just don't kill us, and then they don't do it? 2 weeks ago, we had the same crap, same story. Hamas was like, no, we'll do it, please stop, please don't, and they didn't do it. Kill them all. Eradicate Hamas. not all Palestinians. Eradicate Hamas, the terror organization. Kill every last one of them. Period. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve humanity. They don't deserve, due process. And I'm not saying we got to do it. Israel should just go in there, do whatever they want. All right, quick word from our friends at Armor Colostrum. It's tryarmor.com/LFATV, TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, and improve my fitness and metabolism. That is Armor Colostrum. It's the first nutrition we receive in life. Contains all the essential nutrients our bodies need in order to thrive. Check it out. It can help reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. It can help fortify your gut health, ignite your metabolism, and it can help fuel your fitness, performance, and recovery. Just check it out at tryarmor.com/LFATV. That is TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. Tryarmor.com/LFATV for 15% off of your entire first order. It's TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. I want to thank everybody for being a part of the show this morning. Make sure you hit that share button and that thumbs up button no matter where you're watching. Hit the thumbs up. It helps us go. Subscribe to us on audio in any of your podcasting apps. Just search Ungoverned, hit subscribe. It's all you got to do. We don't need you to do anything else. All of that helps the show become more discoverable to new people who prefer the audio-only format. So we'd appreciate it if you could help us along there. We've seen a huge uptick in audio as well. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Jeremy Harrell up next. Be sure to visit the LFA TV store before Jeremy comes on with Live from America. It's LFATV.us, LFATV.us. Click on that store tab. You'll see everything that there is to offer at the LFA TV store. Jeremy was sporting a brand new looking flannel today, a light gray, not the female's gray, but a light gray looking flannel. Looked nice, I gotta say, matched his hat. So check it out over at LFATV.us or JeremyHarrell.com/store. So much to offer there, so much you can get your hands on in terms of LFA merch. LFATV.us or JeremyHarrell.com/store. Thank you so much for watching and listening. As Donald Trump says, we will never give up. We will never give in, and we will never, ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Monday. We're back here tomorrow, same time, same place, rumble.com/LFATV. That's our home base, the Cool Kids Table on Rumble, 10 a.m. Eastern Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Until then, again, have a great rest of your Monday. Good night, everybody. Bang, gavel. Jeremy Harrell up next with Live from America, and thank you for your attention to this matter.